There's one key thing that you may have to do in order to be successful in your business and grow to a high 6 to 7 figure level. And that one thing is probably something that you're completely uncomfortable doing. You have to be comfortable with manipulating people. So in this episode, we're going to cover how you manipulate your way to millions. Welcome to another episode of It's Credit at the Top. I'm your host, AstenCeo. I got the voice of God on the other side with me.
Hey, peace and blessings, beautiful people. And Judge, we about to teach you how to manipulate.
Yeah. Like I had this convo with somebody in the It's Crowded at the Top community last week. And he was saying a sales tactic that I was telling him to do. He hit me back and he was like, yeah, that sounds cool, but I feel like I'm going to be manipulating people. And I was like, yeah, that's the whole point. And I felt like that's a good topic to speak on because we have to stop interpreting words for our negative experiences with something and start treating the words with their actual definition and what they mean.
Yeah, 1000%.
So when I say you got to manipulate people, most people, they think that the instant negative connotation comes in because they've been manipulated in a negative way before.
Right.
So you hear the word manipulate or manipulation and you automatically think something negative. But I'm like, anything in sales, which y'all, whether you want to believe it or not, or whether y'all want to try to do it another way or not, you have to sell something to be in business.
Yeah.
Everybody's running from selling, but they say they want to be entrepreneurs, but they don't want to sell nothing.
Yeah, but and they actually sell every day, even when they're not selling. Because if you're not selling the product, you're selling yourself on an interview or on the job.
Not even, and to take it deeper, you selling yourself on that interview or that job, but on that job, you're selling your time.
Yep.
You selling all the time. But I'm like, people hate sales, but the reason why they hate sales is because they've had negative experiences, getting negatively manipulated. So it's like negative, negative, negative. So the reason why I said we got to start treating these words with the actual definition of what they are instead of what we think it is. My favorite app, dictionary.com. The first definition of manipulate: to manage or influence skillfully, especially in an unfair manner. Then the example, it says to manipulate people's feelings. Hey, yo, real quick, I did a little over 900K in my business with just one digital product, but I have a bigger goal now, 100 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $100 million, but not for me, for y'all. I'm helping 1,000 people make an extra 6 figures online in their business like them.
I made 1K in less than 12 hours.
Spent 4 hours of my life to make 29 grand.
13,500, trying to make it crowded at the top.
1,000 people times 100,000 equals 100 million worth of impact. I'm making it crowded at the top. Get weekly coaching calls with myself, all of my courses, trainings, resources, and systems, plus a private mastermind community of entrepreneurs, all designed to help you grow your business online for less than $2 a day. There's no excuses anymore. So click the link down in the description, tap into the mastermind community, and I will see you on our coaching call this upcoming Wednesday. The second definition: to handle, manage, or use, especially with skill, in some process of treatment or performance. Then it says to manipulate a large tractor, right? Third, to adapt or change, to suit one's purpose or advantage. Then it got a medical definition. But let's stay with that first one: to manage or influence skillfully, especially in an unfair manner. What's negative about managing or influencing skillfully? A lot of things that I talk about, or pretty much everything I talk about, right? I think every entrepreneur needs to have a digital product because it's, I'm not going to say easy, but it's way simpler to scale than
Mm.
any other business model I personally came across.
Mm-hmm.
Best way to do that is through. I also think every entrepreneur needs to have a personal brand
Mm-hmm.
because you can sell whatever off of that personal brand. And what does that personal brand do? What does everybody out here in the internet space want to be?
Mm-hmm.
An influencer.
Mm-hmm.
And people just hear that word influencer. I'm like, do you know what influence means? That means you manipulate people to do things.
Right. Right.
I won't be an influencer, dog. All right, well, here's how you can manipulate some people. No, I don't want to manipulate nobody. Then you don't want to have influence.
Exactly. Because that's pretty much what it is. It's like,
It ain't even know pretty much about it. That's what it is.
yeah.
So I'm like, we got to just stop saying these words and not understanding what the words mean. The whole point of being an influencer is to influence people to do things that you want them to do.
Manipulation.
That's manipulation.
Yeah.
So somebody pays Kim Kardashian a whole bunch of millions of dollars to post on social media because she can manipulate people into doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's wrong with that.
Right.
Now, what the morality comes in is, are you manipulating people for their better good or for your better good?
Right.
That's where the shady shit be coming in, and the shit that people feel bad about, to where they think that these words are negative
Right. And
because
also
they
you can do both, but if you're gonna do it for your good, if it comes to the detriment of the other person, then that's bad.
yeah. But here's the thing, though, it can't be good for you unless it's good for somebody else for
Right.
it to be a positive
Right, right,
thing.
right,
So
right.
that's why I say I know I'm gonna forever be good, because majority of people, they start things in business with the mind of what's in it for me first. I start everything with what's in it for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I reverse engineer off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why in my past I've had it may have taken me a longer route, or like I'd like to say taking the stairs, because I come at everything from that point.
Mm-hmm.
What's in it for them? Versus other people, they might get to places way quicker than me because they starting with what's in it for me. But then down the line, it flips,
Right.
because that that bad name starts to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
It takes some people to consume something, or it takes some people to purchase something. They don't immediately know that it's bullshit.
Right.
Or the people that just bought it, they might immediately know that it's bullshit. But it takes multiple people's voices to become loud. That's why it may take some time for all these guys that have been outed as bullshitters.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, yeah, when you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 people bought something, the quote unquote world, they voices ain't that loud out there on the internet to call you out on it yet.
Right. Right.
It turns into this many people down the road. Yeah, then you ain't got nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
And it's like the same exact thing. You start everything with what's in it for them.
Mm-hmm.
That same exact thing takes time. Like, yeah, these people, they love it, but it ain't that many people yet.
Right. Right. Still
So it ain't
quiet.
that loud
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
But then once it grows and everybody's loving it, then it's like, oh, everybody loves it. And you got
Yeah.
nothing but room to grow with it.
Then you snowballing in a positive direction. Now it's hard to stop that momentum.
Yeah, but that starts with manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any kids. You have 2 kids. You have to tell your kid, you have to manipulate your kids into doing things that are that are the best for them.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
manipulate as a parent.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's the cause and effect. It's like, or the reward system is based upon Hey, if you do this, you can get that. That's manipulation.
Yeah. You manipulate your wife
Mm-hmm.
in order to do certain things that you know that she ends up being happy with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I ain't gonna get into your business. I don't know if you might have manipulated her in the past of stuff that she's not happy with. That probably turns into some shit.
Yeah.
And that's just people. But when they get what they desired out of the manipulation,
Mm-hmm. And it's fine.
it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So us as entrepreneurs, we have to create environments that we can manipulate in order for our customer to get their desired outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Which in turn, if we're in alignment with our customer or our target customer or our leads, their desired outcome is our desired outcome.
Right.
Because I'm in the business of helping people. If they get the help that they desire, I get what I desire.
Mm-hmm.
And we make it crowded at the top.
Hey.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So how do you create an environment that you can manipulate? For one, I'm looking at the definition again. To manage or influence skillfully, especially in an unfair manner. Then the example is to manipulate people's feelings. I've said this before on multiple previous episodes, but I say it again because y'all might not have heard it from me. The only reason people buy anything is because they feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the last thing that y'all bought. You only bought it because you felt like it.
Yep.
That's why people don't like the feeling of being sold, because when you feel like you got sold, you didn't feel like you wanted it. You feel like somebody got over on you. You feel like the car dealer got over on you. You feel like when and got that oil change, that guy that with that air filter tricked you to get the air filter.
He brought out that old joint, like, man, it's yours, man. Like
Yeah, but think though, in order to buy something, somebody has to sell it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And we buy stuff literally 365 days a year.
Yep.
Why are all those purchases we don't feel manipulated? Because we felt like we just wanted it, so we bought it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like uh Ball sold me this mason jar.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like Crystal Geyser sold me this water.
Right.
I didn't feel like Apple does it the best. I didn't feel like Apple sold me this phone, but they sold it to me, bro.
Right. Right.
They created an environment that manipulated me into feeling like buying this phone.
Mm-hmm.
Apple does it the same way that I do it, and the same way that I advise y'all do it. Apple creates content that makes you feel something to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that I've done in the past is a webinar, for example. Think every time Apple introduces a new product, what do? A fucking webinar.
Yeah.
We just don't think it's a webinar.
Yep. And
We
they
just
say
think
the
people
same
on
thing.
Instagram and stuff do webinars.
Right.
No, they host a free event. They have a live audience, and even outside that live audience, they basically sell from the stage.
Mm-hmm.
I sell from the stage, except my stages are virtual. For one, I may not want to put together an in-person event or the overhead or all this stuff. But for two, it's just easier to do. You can gather people online in somewhere like a Zoom room or a webinar software, or even outside of that. That's why I be preaching to y'all to create content. Every piece of content that I make is also, especially if it's just like a how-to or informative or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
that's a virtual stage.
Mm-hmm.
Apple, they do that. They had a big old screen. They They make everything look cool. They talk about it, and they evoke emotions, and they make people feel stuff.
Right.
You just talked about how you seen some Cybertrucks or something in LA. You said something about the Cybertruck.
Oh, yeah.
Elon, they do the same thing with Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Think when he first unveiled the Cybertruck, that was a fucking webinar.
Yeah, it was. And it's funny because it failed, but it actually didn't, because I think it even, promotion is promotion. So when he was like, it's bulletproof and the glass won't shatter and all that, and then it shattered, like everybody in the world was talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
It was like it still worked.
It still worked.
And then he got a chance to even say afterwards, which whether he was lying or not, I don't know, but like that wasn't the real Cybertruck.
Yeah, it was a prototype, but what had happened was they had tested it earlier and it compromised its integrity. So when he came on stage after they did it, it was just bound to fail. Like,
Hey, but just think, y'all. Every large company, like a lot of times we study like smaller individuals, but I'm like, we can also study these big, large corporations, and a lot of things that the smaller individuals are doing. It all trickles down from that, and you all can do it too. Because I know we love to find our favorite influencer online, right? And we like be looking at that person. I'm like, well, a lot of times you'll learn a lot if you just look at something huge and big,
right.
and then see like, how can I take what McDonald's is doing and add that to my candle business?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it be McDonald's. And if you even think, say me, I grew up as a '90s kid. McDonald's, in order to get those customers in there, McDonald's, they created an environment that made you feel something.
Right.
Think when you was a kid, McDonald's was the fun, happy place for kids.
Yeah.
They had playgrounds in there. I had a birthday party at McDonald's.
Yeah, they had the little balls in there.
They knew their demographic, and they created that environment to make you feel like buying it. They had all the cartoon characters, Grimace and the Hamburglar, Ronald McDonald, right? Think now they then realized that McDonald's ain't the kids spot no more, because kids ain't coming no more. Kids got tablets.
Right.
McDonald's don't advertise to kids no more. Have you noticed? Like, think about that. Now McDonald's is basically a Starbucks with burgers. Everything Starbucks advertised to you is like coffee stuff, McCafe.
Yep. Now that's real. I ain't even noticed
Now they
that.
create that environment, but they create that environment to make the adults feel like coming, because they like, okay, we can't get this to the kids no more because the kids don't want to come. It's a new world. They not playing like this. They just all in tablets in the house chilling. How do we still get these people to come to the store? Okay, let's add these coffees and McCafe and the iced coffee and this coffee and that and whatever. But they still create that environment to make the consumer, which always is the adult, because they got the money.
Right.
First, they got the adult to come by, hey, your baby's gonna love this.
And bro, you know what's so crazy? I'm hearing you and I'm thinking about this in real time. It's so detailed and nuanced. Like even their commercials. Remember, it used to be like, I'm loving it. But now it's just ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like real mature.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah. That's
McDonald's,
crazy.
it's a rarity for you to find a McDonald's that still got that playground.
Yeah, for sure. And it's collecting dust. That ball pit got all sorts of spiders in that joint.
There's only one that comes to mind right now that I'm thinking about it. Like, and I don't go to McDonald's like that, but as I'm just thinking about the McDonald's, there's only one that I can think of. And I live in a pretty big city. They got one. So y'all think how can you manipulate certain situations? And if you want some training on manipulating your way to millions, now I can't tell y'all how to go make $10 million. I can tell you how to make $1 million, because I've made 7 figures. I only teach people One thing I tell people, I never tell people things off of theory.
Right.
Everything I say is off of experience.
Right.
If you want somebody that can ethically help you manipulate your way to a high 6 or 7 figure business, join this Credit at the Top community. Get weekly coaching calls with myself, all my courses and trainings in the private community, entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. Click the link down in the description, and I'll see you at our coaching call this upcoming Wednesday. It's Credit at the Top.